Thank you for joining today's webinar on how to manage and reduce energy cost in this digital age. Especially, we'll be talking about manufacturing as well as other industries as to how to manage energy. So today we put together a panel for you. My name is Kevin Devecioglu. I'm with Bimser International. Also, I'm a co-chair of HILI Manufacturing Committee. Today with us, there is Jay Ryan, President and CEO of QDMS Energy Company. He is with us in our panel as our expert panelist in energy management. Also today with me, I have my colleague Samvat, our software engineer from Bimser International. So together we'll be presenting you about how you can manage your energy operations, how you can reduce your energy costs, and we'll also talk about how you can manage energy operations in a digital environment. But of course, it's important to learn the fundamentals from experts, and I'm glad Jay joined us. So before we get into details of fundamentals of energy consumption, energy management, I'd like to just briefly introduce myself and our company, basically. My name is Kevin Devecioglu. I'm the Managing Director of Bimser International. And as Bimser International, we are an enterprise software maker since 1998. We have global presence. We are active in North America. We are based in New York City. Also, we are active in Europe as well. So as a group, we are about 200 people. We are a growing organization. European Bank is one of our investors. So with the help of European Bank for reconstruction and development support, we have more visibility in international markets. As a Bimser, we are ISO 9001 certified and ISO 271 certified. In addition, we are with also various reputable ERP companies such as SAP, Microsoft, Acumatica, MYOB, Sage, and Oracle. Since 1998, we focus on helping organizations automating and digitizing their business processes. We do it with EBA, for example, one of our products with workflow and document management capabilities that we have. We have BEAM as our asset management, maintenance, and energy management software. We have QDMS for quality management and Ensemble for business process management. So that's our basically specialty, these four products. And we are the only company in the world offering these four products independent from any ERP system, but at the same time ready to integrate with any ERP system. That flexibility and that depth of knowledge and expertise is our unique position globally in the marketplace. Also, before ending my presentation, is to introduce our company. We work with many different reputable companies. We work with 3M, for example, Ford, Hyundai, Godiva Chocolate is one of our customers, Paper, Renault-Nissan Alliance, and these are the enterprise level references that we have. In addition, we work with mid-market, so companies with 30 plus employees are also one of the markets that we focus on, and we have many customers also in mid-market as well using our products for document management, maintenance management, energy management, and quality management. So in a nutshell, that's who we are and what we do as Bimser International. So when we get back to our panel, I'd like to introduce you Jay Ryan. He is the president and CEO of energy management consulting company QDMS Energy, and he is also a member of HILI, Hapak Industry Association of Long Island, very active in various committees. And today, I'm glad Jay joined us. I'm sure we all have a lot to learn from him in terms of energy management and cost reduction in energy operations. So before further ado, I'd like to hand it over to Jay. Are you available? I'll make you the presenter as a start.
You need to let me share the screen. There we go.
All right, floor is yours. We can.
Okay, are you seeing my screen?
Yes, we are.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for attending our presentation. And thank you to Kevin and Bimser International for sponsoring this webinar. As you heard, my name is Jay Ryan. I'm the CEO of QDMS Energy Consultants. Kilfinnan helps businesses save money and improve their bottom line by cutting energy costs. We're clearly in a unique period in our country's history, and our businesses are undergoing shocks and challenges that none of us have ever experienced before. But we will emerge into a next normal, hopefully sooner than later. So it's incumbent on us to prepare for coming out at the other end of this quarantine. Some of you may have actually benefited from this pandemic, but most of you probably didn't. And trimming expenses and managing cash flow are going to be essential in the foreseeable future. In a regular auditorium, I'd ask for a show of hands, but I'll ask you the rhetorical question anyway. Does anyone like writing big checks to your utility every month? When you use less of a commodity, you pay less for it. That's conservation at its purest and the most effective type of energy efficiency. When you use less energy or use sustainable energy, you create less pollution. That's the ancillary benefit in addition to saving money. I'm going to go over a number of fantastic ways to save money on energy costs. If you take one thing away from this presentation, it's that an LED lighting upgrade is the best, the most cost-effective, and the first thing that you should do. As you can see from the slide, you get an immediate 40 to 70% savings on the lighting portion of your electric bill. The low initial capital commitment, it has a low initial capital commitment compared to other efficiency measures. You virtually eliminate your replacement and maintenance costs. And in the process, you also get better quality lighting. And research shows that better lighting makes workers more productive.
Jay, this is Kevin.
Yes.
Would you please make your presentation full screen for us, if possible? There is a button in the bottom, I believe. Yeah, slideshow, please. Thank you.
I'm not sure how to do that. Let's take a look.
I think slideshow button will do the menu up there. Slideshow.
I don't see anything like that.
In the menu set on top, there is a slideshow. I think that has to be the one. Or if you can just press, I think F5 will do.
F5? I don't have it. I'm on a. I'm on
a. See, there is an icon in bottom. It looks like a screen. Maybe you can click. Yeah, not that one. Not that one. Next one, right towards right. Next one on the.
This
okay,
one?
that one. Yes, please click it.
Did that work?
Let's see. Can you click it again? Okay, perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Please.
All right, great. Thanks. Sorry about that.
Thank you. No problem. That's great. Thanks.
Okay. Somehow I lost the. I now no longer have any text on the screen and don't know how to move it up and down.
Okay. Can you click your mouse?
Yeah.
Can you click around? Is it working?
No, in other words, well, let me see what happens. Okay.
You have the animation. Perfect.
Feature I didn't even know I had. Okay.
That's good. Please.
Okay, it's difficult to fully explain the science behind this slide quickly and easily in a presentation of this type. But for heavy energy users, say those with a monthly bill of $10,000 or higher, this is the second best strategy to employ to cut energy costs. You are losing electricity into the ground all day, every day. Harmonic distortion is the term for when electric waves get out of phase. When it happens past your electric meter, you pay for energy you don't use, typically 3 to 12% of your total electricity costs. We have a proprietary electricity recycling technology that can recapture this loss. This one, this would probably be one you can ask me in questions or talk to me offline, but it's a very, very positive and effective strategy. Okay, this slide is fairly self-explanatory. I wasn't expecting this. Okay. This slide is fairly self-explanatory. We can provide you with control systems that monitor your energy usage in real time, allowing you to discover problems and correct them immediately. An additional benefit is you'll minimize downtime because there is fault detection built into the system. Demand response is an intelligent hedge if you employ the proper strategy. These programs will pay you to lower energy usage when the grid is stressed out. The amounts they'll pay you can be staggering. It kind of shocks people when we present them with these proposals. You may be called on a few times a year, or maybe not at all. In 2018, people were called on about 5 times, 5 days, usually in the late afternoon, to lower their energy usage. In 2019, people that were paid full amount weren't called on once at all. You may be able to comply simply by turning off non-essential equipment, or alternatively, facilities may participate by switching to backup generation for the duration of the demand response call. Community solar is for those of you who have never put solar on your roof. For whatever reason, you didn't want to bother with it. We will put solar on your roof, and you don't care if the sun ever shines again. You'll be paid rent for the use of your roof, and you may get a free new roof in the process. Basically, there are people out there who live in an apartment, live in a house with trees around it, have a northern exposure, and they want to buy solar generated power because they want to save money, they want to save the planet, or both. We will generate electricity on your roof, and we will sell it to them. It's a win-win for everybody. Most manufacturers don't have a lot of glass walls, but if you do, this can be a great money saver. We put micron thin plastic films that can be clear, tinted, or reflective on glass surfaces. They reduce your heating costs in the winter and your cooling costs in the summer. They also can reduce blinding glare, and if it's important to you, color fading. EV charging stations aren't a pure energy saving strategy for manufacturers, but they are an energy strategy that's good for the environment and a good way to attract and retain employees. Electric vehicles are clearly the way of the future. Charging stations are in short supply on Long Island. Younger workers are drawn to environmentally friendly employers, and EV charging stations can be a perk for employees, or they can be a profit center. You can charge people, or you can give it to them to keep them happy. I don't spend a lot of time on this slide because I'm sure you're aware of it, but I'd be remiss if I didn't point out that specialty consulting engineers can save you money on energy and help streamline operations. We have people that we can introduce you to if you would like to meet them. And I believe we're going to hold questions until after Kevin's, the Bimser people make some other presentations.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
And I was just going to finish up with, so Finn and I wish you the best in these uncertain times. We welcome any inquiries and hope to hear from you in the future. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Thank you for the insights. I'll take over the screen real quick. Hold on one second. Let me make full screen myself as well. Okay, great. Thank you for the insights, Jay. great tips. And the energy cost actually is an important cost for any manufacturing, basically any organization, whether in distribution, wholesale, say international trade, right? So that's an important cost for any companies. And also, it is good that you also mentioned about solar and other sources to actually have energy, provide energy to our company. That's also another important thing. And we're gonna also have questions. We have also Q&A session coming up. So what I like to do is that I like to hand it over to Sam. So we talk about energy management, right? So Jay shared important subjects with us, great insights. So let's say you have an organization and you like to manage your energy consumption at your organization. You like to record it, you like to analyze it in a digital environment with paperless work environment, for example. How would you do it? So we just have a very short demonstration as to how you can manage your machinery, equipment, your facilities, and how you can actually keep track of your energy consumption. So I like to hand it over to Sam. Sam, if you're ready, you can take over the screen. Sam is our software engineer from our engineering team, and he put together a very brief demonstration for you. One of our software products called BEAM for asset and maintenance management, and we'll show you how you can basically use that for managing facilities as well as managing assets as to energy consumption. Sam, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. You can take over the screen when you're ready.
Sure. And please let me know if you can see my screen.
I can see your screen.
Great. So let's get started. Okay. And first of all, thank you for joining this webinar, and thank you, Kevin, for passing the mic and the insight from Jay. Thank you so much. And this is BEAM, the homepage of BEAM, like our enterprise asset maintenance and energy management system. Okay. And you can find the dashboard right after you log into BEAM, and it will show you the dashboard, like showing the real-time data in a chart, in a table, and also in a pie chart and bar chart. Okay, and this widgets on this dashboard can integrate with each other. So you can see I click on one of those, and you can see the real-time data change accordingly. And on the top left, this is where we log in, or the login page of BEAM. And on the top left, this is the main menu for BEAM. Like you can manage your asset and also maintenance, and also very important, it's the consumption or the energy consumption of your center or your assets. So right here we have our assets, and you can manage the information of your assets right here, like your machinery or equipment, or your fleet, and so on. And I want to show you is the information that you can put in this system. And let me make it like a full screen. And you can manage or update the code, the name, the status, and the location of your asset, and also the brand price, serial number, and barcode number, and so on this page. Also on your left, this is some more information that you can manage or connect to this asset, like the material will be used, and also like the maintenance plan that can be a reference for the team or the responsible team. And under this legitimate proceedings, you can record the information like inspection, insurance, and upload the picture for this asset as well. Okay, and we can also upload the handbook, instruction, or warranty under this asset module. So we come back to this energy module, which you can manage the consumption of your energy. So saying you can add a new record and pick and choose the center that we record in Beam, and also the consumption type, for example, like for manufacturing. And then you can set up the first reading date, like April 1st till today. And you will see the number of dates will be calculated automatically. And also we can enter or update the reading of your consumption of the energy, for example, electricity. So let's say 9,000 units. And we can enter the price for it, saying 0.5, so 50 cents. We can change the currency because Beam support different language in the system, and all the costs will be calculated automatically. And you can attach your document right here, for example, like the contract or the regulation, since we have the cost and also the carbon dioxide emission unit can be recorded in this module. After that, we can save it, and this consumption record will be recorded in Beam. Okay, with and show them in the list, like the center name, the data of like reading the meters or the sensor, and the cost. Okay. And in every module, you can find the reporting tool and create your report. Since Beam providing over 10,000 ready-made report, like you can create your report for consumption analyze, and also generate your graphical report as well. So I'm going to get into the consumption analyze report and pick and choose what we want to have in the in our graphical report, like the cost, the unit price, and then we can start generating it, and it will be shown in a bar chart. And you're more than welcome to change the type of it, like change it to pie chart, and export this into other file format like PDF, Excel, image, for sharing with any responsible parties. Okay. And it's come to the end of my demonstration in a high level. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you very much, Sam. Let's make it full screen. There you go. Okay, great. So we have question and answer section. So we have questions that we have been receiving in the chat box. Also, I received some questions before the webinar as well. So one of the questions are actually, the question is for you, Jay. So what type of industries are ideal for energy reduction, energy cost reduction? So is it mostly for manufacturing, you will say, or is it it can be basically applied to different industries?
No, it's not just for manufacturing. Some of them are more for manufacturing, but like, you know, I started with lighting. Lighting is for everybody. Second one was the harmonic distortion, or the that one. It could be for a big manufacturing plant, or it could be for a string of stores. I mean, it's anybody that has a big electric bill, but it doesn't have to be a big manufacturing, you know, plant. The demand response is for everybody. But most of them are for everybody, although large manufacturers would get, you know, would probably have a heavier energy uses than a lot of other companies. So the monitoring and of your systems is very attuned to manufacturing.
Thank you, Jay. And also during your presentation, you actually shared some ratios: 40%, 70% reduction in energy consumption.
Yeah. So for lighting, it's 40 to 70%. For the harmonic distortion filters, it's 3 to 14%.
These are amazing numbers if you think about it for any business.
Yeah.
Whether... And
the amazing thing with lighting, you are going to get, let's say you save 50%, you're probably going to get a rebate somewhere between 25 and 70% for your project. So your break even is typically it's always, well, I shouldn't say always, it's almost always below two years. But we have people breaking even in as short as 4 months for a lighting upgrade. For the harmonic distortion, which is 3 to 14%, the upfront cost is also very low on that one. Usually the equivalent of about 3 weeks, not months, 3 weeks of electricity spend. So the break even there is generally under 2 years too. And they're all very, very capital efficient. They all will, improve your bottom line. There's really no downside to any of these.
Actually, when I was watching your presentation, it also got my attention. Also, that's one of our questions. So, which alternative energy resources do you recommend? Also, Jay, you mentioned solar energy in your presentation. Just a follow up to this question. So there is solar, and I think there is also wind, right? We also know that the wind power as an alternative source of energy. What do you think about these alternative energy sources for businesses?
Well, I mean, wind power is more of a macro thing. It's that's going to be there are people out now trying to sell like small wind turbines for your roof. I'm not involved in those. I think I don't think they're really economically efficient yet. They might be good for a pure environmentalist, but they're not going to save you money yet. The big wind turbines offshore. Renewables are definitely one of the waves of the future. Right now, one of the problems is we have battery storage, but it's not as efficient as we'd like it to be. So really, wind and offshore and offshore solar have a lot of pros and they have some cons. But what the strategies that I always recommend are the ones that are both environmentally and economically sound. That are they're good for your business. And as I said in I think one of my first slides, conservation is the perfect efficiency strategy. If you don't use energy, you're not paying for it, you're not burning anything, you're not polluting the environment. And then sustainables are the second best because you're not burning fossil fuels, you're using something that's plentiful and renewable. But so the solar that we talk about is community solar. I mean, I could talk about regular solar, but it's been around a long time. There are other people. I'm very happy to answer any specific questions about solar. But what I try to recommend to people is community solar, because I'm talking to businesses that have a big flat roof. They've never put solar up there for whatever reason, whether it's because they thought it might cause leaks or whatever, didn't want to bother with it. We will put solar on your roof. You don't have to take any of the solar. You don't have to take any of the output. You're just going to get rent like with a cell phone tower. So you're indifferent. If the sun never shines again, you're still going to get paid. And what turns some people on even more than the rent on the roof is if you have an old roof. Well, we're going to put the solar up there and guarantee it for 20 years. So we may give you a new roof. And while that will lower your rent, for some people, that's a more attractive benefit than the rent from the solar on the roof. So it's a pretty good deal for people that have a big flat roof and have never put solar up there.
Great tips. Thank you very much. Also, I'd like to turn to our attendees. If you have any questions, you can unmute your microphone. You can ask. As an alternative, you can type in the chat box. That's where I've been getting questions, actually. So you can either type your questions or please unmute your microphone and ask your question. Not a problem. We'll be happy to.
Jay, I have a question here. This is Paulson with Combined. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Now you said that two areas of my interest is two questions for general knowledge. You're an expert. I've known you I've known you in the space for a long time. I've been in the solar space for a long time too. Community solar. When you say, do you do the complete EPC, or you just have financiers who do it, or you work with companies that do it for you, or you just do the project, or you just manage the project?
I have joint venture partners for community solar.
You do that, okay.
Yeah, one of my partners basically does everything, including finance. Another partner does everything but the finance.
Yeah, I will be in touch with you. I sent you an email. I'd love to talk to you about because I know a few people who have large roof space, and I'm putting together some projects. So I'd be very interested in learning about how you put things together and see if we can work together on that.
Very good. I'd love to hear from you. I can't look at my email right now, but I'll take a look after the presentation.
No. That's okay. Whenever. I already sent you an email. But the second question is regarding batteries. A lot of companies are thinking that batteries is the next big thing. But when we have in Long Island a pure net metering process where the energy company takes 100% of your excess energy and they give you credit for it, what is the ROI on a battery pack? I still cannot get the logistics of that and the the numbers don't seem to be working out for me. So can you explain on that a little bit if you can, or we can even do it on a sidebar? But I think this is a good open forum here.
But there's one word I didn't pick up in your question, and now it's hard for me to go back and say what it was. You said what was it sounded like
the ROI.
ROI. Well, the answer is the ROI on batteries varies completely with the project and what type of power you're drawing, what type of power you're storing, what you're using it for. So that's kind of a hard question to answer specifically.
Yeah, but my question was, if what is the need for a battery when the electric is taken back, is pretty much the utility company takes all the excess power, right, through net metering.
They'll buy it from you, but then they sell it back to you at a reduced rate. So for people that know they're going to use it, like let's say if you have a Tesla in your garage and you're storing the energy at night, and then you're storing the energy during the day from a solar panel, and then you use it at night to charge up your Tesla. Well, it's better to use what you have because when you sell it to the grid, you get a reduced price, and then you'd have to buy it back at a full price.
They don't give you credit. I mean, initially they give you credit, but if you buy an excess, you have to buy it at the rate, right? I mean, I don't understand. I know that the common conception is that you get paid less, and I agree with you. They only pay you for the spot rate that they pay, but when they're giving you credit for all the electric that you're giving them, till you use up your credit, you're pretty much paying whatever rate they're charging you, correct?
I believe that it's they take a little haircut, but I would have to check on that.
Great questions. Thank you very much, Paulson. Much appreciated. So what we do is we keep our contact information on the screen. I put also Jay's email address. Also, you can also see the website on the screen. So after this webinar, feel free to continue the conversation, and it's a great opportunity to meet and get to know each other as a start, and then we can continue the conversation later on. Great question. Thank you so much. So moving on, if there is another question, let me see my chat box. One of the questions I got is actually, I think it's for Sam. The solution that you show for managing energy reductions and energy consumption, does it work on mobile devices?
Yes, thank you for this question. A nice question. And yes, my answer is yes. It is available for Android and iOS device. You can download it through App Store or Google Play on your tablet or smartphone and connect to Beam and start using the modules that I have just demonstrated.
Thank you, Sam. Jay, I have one more question for you. It looks like
okay.
That's an important thing, I believe. So okay, one of the things actually the question about training. How should we train our employees about energy consumption and conserve energy? Do you have any suggestions on that?
That's a broad question. Let me think about it for a second.
I know there are also standards as for energy management. The one I know is the ISO 50,000, for example, for energy consumption, right? So it comes with certain policies and procedures in place to manage energy and conserve energy, basically. I think it's also touching that as well in a sense. But based on your expertise, it may be also your observation in different companies, like how do they train their employees, how do they help them understand the conserving the energy, and how do they basically train them, and maybe also your observations in different organizations.
I guess the best way I could answer that is I think most employees are well intentioned about wanting to conserve energy, both save money, save the planet. But most of the strategies that we employ are ones that kind of take it out of their hands, which they kind of make it automatic. I mean, employees should turn the lights off when they leave a room that's not going to be used by others. But by switching to LED light, you're going to cut the amount that's left on by 30 to 70%, 40 to 70% if they forget. We also have controls. Obviously, there's nothing new that we can set it up so you have controls. So if we leave a room, the lights go off. They go off on a timer. So a lot of what we're doing is more to end run those policies. There are probably other consultants who are more attuned to the ISO rules for motivating your employees to do what they need to do. We're saying, okay, let's just assume your employees aren't doing what they're supposed to do. Let's maximize your savings anyway.
Yes, makes sense. Makes sense. Thank you very much. So I remember one of our actually HALI committee meetings. If you remember, we met in Sunation, if I'm not mistaken,
yes,
back in February. No, so
yes.
Yeah, time flies. And then we had also a use case, if you remember, from one of the manufacturers. So they talk about different ways of energy, conserving energy and reducing energy cost. So we learned a couple of different things in terms of how manufacturers are actually implementing these ideas. One of them was also very interesting. The presentation actually started with the electrical cars, if you remember. That was very interesting. So, having electrical cars at the organization, just starting from there is to, reduce energy cost. And that was very interesting. And it followed by some other ways of reducing the energy, just like you mentioned. I think there was also lightning, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. He was basically a manufacturer himself, and he was a huge proponent of electric vehicles. He thinks anyone who doesn't have one is crazy. So what we do there is we will install EV charging stations, and they have different benefits for different people. I mean, they have clearer benefits for, let's say, a hotel or for a shopping center, because you attract people and you keep them longer. But for manufacturers, it's kind of an employee attraction retention. That I'm well over 40, but they say people under 40 are a lot more attuned to being environmental, being green, and they like to work for companies that they believe have the same values as they do. And so if you kind of give them either the courtesy of a free charging station, or even the courtesy of being able to charge while they're at work, they tend to be drawn to that. It's been, market research has shown that younger workers prefer a company that thinks like they do and that thinks like, they thinks green. So that's where the EV charging stations really come in for a manufacturer.
That's very exciting, and that looks like the future. How is the how are the trends overall in the market, you think? So you think companies are really like they really going towards the EV chargers and electrical cars based on the observation in the market?
Well, yeah, the answer is yes. The market's growing. Long Island has the highest percentage of electric vehicles in New York State. but it has the lowest percentage of EV charging stations. So that's an issue. That's a reason to, another reason to think about if it will help your company to put them in, because it will help your workers. But yeah, the world is going to move towards them. Everyone focuses on Tesla. Tesla is, according to Consumer Reports, was the highest rated. The Tesla Model S was the highest rated car they ever evaluated. But everyone's, BMW and Ford and the Japanese companies, they're all coming and they're all going to be making them. And the nice thing is that Tesla set a pretty high standard. So they're probably going to, I don't own one. I think ultimately I will when I buy a new car. But I've driven a Tesla and it's almost surreal. There's no gear changing. There's no sound. It's like a perfect driving experience.
Yes, it's very exciting. That's the future. That's how it looks. That's where we are going overall. At least eventually, that's how it looks. That's very interesting. So one of the things that actually we have been talking about also at our HALI committee meetings that also we actually brought it up is about the situation due to COVID-19, right?
Yes.
So one of the important things will be, I call this business life after COVID-19. That's what I've been calling, because there was business before COVID-19. We were looking at things in a certain way. Now we experience certain difficulties, and after COVID-19, we're gonna look at it also differently by lessons learned, hopefully. So I'm a big fan of risk management, right? So in terms of risk management, what may happen and how we can actually be prepared as businesses, whether we are manufacturers, whether we are distribution houses or wholesalers or service providers, for example. So in terms of risk management and with the scope of energy management, how companies should assess risks and how they should basically prepare for it. Can you share some of your expertise with us or your observation as to it?
Well, I'll start by saying I've been listening to some presentations by the IFMA, International Facilities Management Association, and the professional property managers and facility managers are trying to get ahead of this. And it's not, we're not going, you said what's going to be the new normal. And I remember after the
yes.
mortgage meltdown, we had a new normal.
You're right.
But I'm calling this one the next normal, because each of these kind of black swan crises creates a next normal. So what these guys were pointing out, which was kind of fascinating to me, was they're already preparing. Some of these companies have just built, let's say, a big, beautiful, expensive conference room. Well, are they going to be allowed to use it? They have cubicles where people are a few feet apart from each other, and the walls are only 4 feet high. Are they going to be how are they going to restructure their work time, workforce, workplace to fit with that? They even right now most companies with good security have a card swipe as you go through a turnstile or something. Well, they're worrying about, will we have to have a security/medical person there at least for the next year to take a thermal temperature of these people, because you can't be infecting people. And then not as big a deal on Long Island, but perhaps in some buildings on Long Island, some of the big buildings in Uniondale and a few other places. But in the city, it's a big deal. If you have a 50-story building and people mostly show up between, let's say, 8 and 9 p.m., how do you get all those people into elevators and up to their floors? I mean, it's the next normal. It's not going to be easy. And one of the things that these facility managers were talking about is that cleaning and disinfecting is going to be a much, much bigger deal. I mean, most of you know that right now, after hours, the cleaning crew come in and they consolidate waste baskets. They probably clean the bathroom, and maybe once a week they vacuum and they're out. Well, in the future, they're going to have to be cleaning your desks, your keyboards, your doorknobs, your light switches. The kitchen's going to be cleaned better. The bathrooms have to be cleaned better. It's going to be a big deal. It's going to be ongoing. It's going to, and it can't be every week or every 2 weeks. It's going to be happening more often. Just because I'm involved in lighting, and have a lot of connections with LED lighting manufacturing in China and other places. I have another business that's going to be starting soon where we're going to be using UV light to disinfect businesses. And UV light has been used for decades to disinfect things like fish tanks and all that. But typical UV light, and I won't get too far in the weeds, but A and B will kill bacteria, but they don't kill viruses. But we're importing machines that use UVC and UVC-O, which kill everything. And it's a non-touch way to go in and totally disinfect a place. So stay tuned. I'll have more on that in the very near future.
That's very exciting. So by having the lightning, UVC, UVC-O, if I took my notes correctly, then we can have also hygienic environment. It can also kill the bacteria. Did I understand correctly?
Yeah, it kills. Well, it kills bacteria. It kills any type of microviruses, fungi, protozoans. So the idea is that we're going to be providing this as a service.
I see.
We'll manufacture the machines. We can also sell machines. Like these machines do exist, but till now they've been used by very specialized industries and very specialized usages. Cleaning pipes deep underground and things like that. It's going to become more needed now, and we think that it can be a very nice service for people, and it will be roughly the same price or at a slight premium to the people who are who are perfectly effective, but they go in and they use neurotoxins, they use harsh chemicals, they leave residues, they leave odors. This is completely natural. It's non-touch. It's light, and the only downside to it is it takes a while. Probably most of it will have to be done at night, on weekends when the facilities are not being used.
I see. Yes, that's very interesting. And also exciting. It's good to definitely know this kind of technologies exist actually.
Yeah, so it's a new concept to most people. We're going to be rolling it out pretty quickly, because we have our contacts in China that manufacture this. And so if anyone has an interest, you have my contact information. We'd love to hear about it because it should be ready in short order.
Yes, absolutely. Jay, thank you so much for the great insights. We have, I think, almost time is up for us as to our webinar. Before we end it, would you like to share any other of your thoughts?
No, I'm just, these are tough times. They call for smart and innovative thinking. And I think for people that need to reduce their costs and manage their cash flow, energy efficiency is a painless way. You're not firing anybody. You're not, you're not totally upsetting your operations. It's a pretty painless, cost-effective, and positive way to help your business in these tough times.
Insights, Jay. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Also, Sam, thank you so much for the demonstration of BIM asset maintenance and energy management software. Much appreciated. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Sam. I also like to thank our attendees. Thank you for your time, your interest, and also you asked great questions. I've been taking my notes. My notebook's already full, so that's great. Question and answer section was also very, very helpful, and we also had a chance to have some free discussions as to energy management and energy cost reduction. So that was very, very informational. Thank you so much for your also participation as our attendees.
Well, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate the opportunity, and thanks to the audience.
Sure, thank you so much. And as I mentioned earlier, we keep our contact information on the screen. So after this webinar, feel free to contact us to continue the conversation. If you have further questions, please, anytime. And we are looking forward to hearing from you as anytime that you like. Thank you for your time, and thank you for joining this webinar. Looking forward to seeing you in our coming education and webinar sessions. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Great. Take care. Thank you.